the Lord choosing us, black man and woman, you understand, is to be the face card of the Most High. What I mean by the face card, the example. You understand? Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because these laws, statutes, and commandments is what's going to separate us from these other nations. These other nations, what they have is a lack of identity. When I say a lack of identity, they believe in false gods and things like that. You know, kind of like what you was believing the Christian church, what they believe in, it's called a false god. You understand? You have fake images of a god who falls underneath a whole story. If you do this research about him, it's Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia was a pedophile, a rapist, a man who slept with his sister. And this is the picture that we have in the Christian church. You know, that white man, that so-called white man, you understand, which falls under the religion of Christianity. Christianity is what separates us from our Most High God. Because we believe that being a Christian, loving everybody in the world, first of all, in the Bible, where does it say to love everybody? If anybody can find that, you know, we definitely here in the Israelite School, UPK, you know, we prove all things, you understand? We don't just go off of what we feel and the circumstances. Everything we speak is from biblical, you know, records, you know, and don't nothing go stretch back farther than the Bible. So, you know, with Christians, again, telling us to love everybody, that's not in the Bible. You know, what they want to say, what God saying, love the world or whatever the case. Let me get that. Matter of fact, John 3:16. Bubba Kashaw. John 3:16. This is what Christians like to reiterate. You know, this is their favorite go-to, right? It's like, oh yeah, God says love everybody. That's love everybody in the world. That don't make no sense. That's impossible to love everybody in the whole world. You understand? You have a family. Do you love everybody that's in your neighborhood? Do you have the power to love everybody in the neighborhood? You understand? And in fact, we got the word love misconstrued on what the Christian church teaches us. Because the Christian church tell you, hey, you love your brother and love your sister. When how is your brother a Chinese man sitting next to you, and that's your brother because you fall underneath a religion? That is false. You understand? So let me get John 3:16, because this is what the Christian church pastor, you know, your pastor like to pull this out and think that he's teaching, you know, saying, thinking he's giving you some type of instruction to fix your life or try to not love your people more than anybody else. Or you got to read in the Bible.
Chapter 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son.
For God so loved the world, right? Again, let's take it up for context. Let me get John 3:1, right? So that way we know this conversation of what we about to read is just, you know, for context purposes, that this is two conversations between two Israelites, which are two black people, right? You understand? So if I'm having a conversation with you, you know, am I talking to, you know, the person you met yesterday? Am I talking to the person that you're going to meet in the future? Hell no, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? It's a conversation amongst men. You understand? 1 John 3:1. Go ahead, read the Bible.
1 John 3:1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
Nicodemus was a Jew. You understand? Nicodemus was a black man. You understand? Just like you. You understand? Falling under the 12 lost tribes of Israel. You know, and this man right here was having a conversation. We're going to figure out who the conversation was with. Go ahead, read.
A ruler of the Jews.
A ruler of the what?
Jews.
Ruler of the Jews. Now, today, again, the lies that's taught to us is, you know, through the synagogue, which is the house of Satan, right? Those fake Jewish people, you know, them people who wear those tassels and, you know, they wear them dirty sideburns. I think they bald head up here. You know, we call them little hats. You know what I'm saying? Those fake Jewish people, you understand, they are not the real Jews according to the Bible. You understand? The Bible said that the Jews are all black unto the ground, right? You understand? Let me get Jeremiah. Hold that. Let me get the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 14:2. You understand? The Jews are black men. You understand? Black, Latino, and Native American men, man. This is the most favorite people from the Most High. The Lord chose these people to be the rulers of this world. You understand? For that man of that nation to govern the earth. You got it, Claudia?
Come.
Well, let's get it.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Judah mourning.
Judah mourning. You understand? Judah mourning. Who's mourning today? You understand? Who's mourning today? Who's the man that's getting strangled in the streets? You understand? Who's the man that's getting recorded, being murdered by cops today? You understand? That whole protest behind that brother George Floyd was because of what? Blacks and Latinos mourning. Because of what? We tired of what we going through. You understand? Today we live in a world where people pull out their phone before they actually do something. You understand? It's normal. We're sensitized to what's happening to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We kind of think of it being normal. Where do we mourn at? In the ghettos. You understand? From Philadelphia, from Trenton, from New York, from Detroit, Boston, wherever you want to claim it, man. There's blacks and Latinos and Native Americans mourning, man. Read it again from the top.
Come. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof language.
And the gates thereof language, man. What is a gate made for? What is a gate supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? You buy a house, you want to put a gate around it. What's your purpose for putting a gate around it? Go ahead.
To keep things order, protect you from being.
Yeah, give that brother a hand. Right there. That gate is made for protection. You understand? We are going to protect, again, what's around us. That's what the gate is used for. But it says these gates are language. You understand? Those gates are language. What's language? Anybody understand what the word language is? Weak. That's what it is, for it to be weak. Who are the people that surround us today? Who's the people that supposed to be our protectors today? The Christian church, right? You understand? The Christian church say, hey, listen, you going through a struggle, you want drugs? Come in here. And in the same place, they taking the same money from them drug dealers who's selling it to those people that go into that church and looking for help, man. You understand? There's a lot of confusion going on within this world because we fall under religion. And what religion is doing is taking us away from our origin. You understand? This is what was happening. We reading that the Jews is black right now. You understand? Everybody that's supposed to protect us, they were weak. Martin Luther King said, listen, man, we're going to sit here and get punched in the face to try to prove something. That don't sound like a strong leader to me at all. You understand? For a man to say, listen, we're going to sit here and already going through oppression, but we're going to take a physical, a physical beating from the people that hate us. That is a gate, that is language, man. That's a gate you can't depend on. You understand? If you growing crops in your household and you surrounded by wolves, what you gonna build your gate out of? Straw? You won't build it out of metal. I would hope you would want to build it out of metal. That's where the strength comes in, man. You understand? It said that those gates were language, man. Me talking about our leaders, our Christian leaders, you understand? Our religious leaders, our politicians. All those people fall weak under to the Most High God. You understand? Read on, Kalakazar.
Come. They are black into the ground.
They are what?
They are black into the ground.
Say the Jews are black unto the ground. What do it mean by unto the ground? You dig up in the earth, you see all different shades of brown, man.
Right.
That's what black people. That's how the tone of black people are. We come from the darkest to the almost the lightest. What they say, the caramel or whatever the case is, right? They say Ephraim was like an overturned cake. You know what I'm saying? His color. You know what I'm saying? Light skin. You understand? Blacks and Latinos and Native Americans fall underneath this scripture right here, Jeremiah 14:2. The Jews were black unto the ground, man. You understand? Take me back to where I was at. 1 John 3:1. Baba Kashara.
Look at 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 1. There was a man of the Philistines named Nicodemus.
So Nicodemus was a leader of the Jews, is what we about to read right now. Go ahead.
A ruler of Jews.
The ruler of Jews, the ruler of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those same people that are black unto the ground. This is this man. He was ruling at the time. Read on.
Now we got verse 2. The same came to Jesus.
He came to who?
Jesus.
So Nicodemus and Yahushua, our king, is having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? This is what this is saying right here. Nicodemus was talking to Christ. You know what I'm saying? Christ was a Jew. Christ comes from the house of Judah, man. You understand? He reigned under King David authority. Say when Christ come back, he's gonna sit on the throne of David. You know what I'm saying? David was a Jew. You know what I'm saying? So blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you see those Jewish people out there, just understand something. Understand something. They know that they are not that people. You understand? Those people have stolen our identity. You understand? What it is as far as how they got it wired up, it don't even mean nothing. You understand? For them to walk around with the tassels and people think that they're so holy, and the only thing that Jews run is diamond districts, the music industry. You understand? They're the rulers of the world. The so-called oppressor is the ruler of the world. That's how you know that when we talking about here in the Israelite School UPK, it's all through the Most High God eyes, man. You understand? What's written in this Bible shall and already has happened. You understand? The Lord said that the Jews was going to rule. You understand? This is going to be the land where the Israelites rule. It's going to be a time where Christ come back, and that'll be the last reign ever, where all blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans dwell together. You understand? And we rule under our King Christ and our Most High power, Yahweh, right? You understand? But this is what Christians like to say. Oh, no, Christ said, love everybody. But I'm talking to another brother. If I'm talking to another brother, why this has no other business to do what we talking about, man? Right. You understand? That's how black people deal today, right? I'm not about to sit here and talk to you about everybody else. You understand? I'm gonna talk to you, and we're gonna have a discussion amongst our people. That's how we talk business. Black business is our business. You understand? If you're a black, Latino, Native American, black business is your business. Right. This right here is Nicodemus talking to Christ. This is black business. It don't got nothing to do with everybody else, man. Right. Take me to jot me down to 3:16. So we know Nicodemus was a ruler of the Jews, talking to Christ. Two black men talking, chopping it up as we see today, right? Right. Go ahead, read.
Look at John chapter 10, verse 16. For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world. That's the kick right there. That's the uppercut, right? The Christians don't even get past this part before they start saying, oh, you got to love everybody. For God so loved the world. For God so loved the world. But then, just like an unlearned Christian, they don't really know the Bible. They don't research it. They don't know precept upon precept. What is that? Using different scriptures to back up what it is that we're reading, just like what we did. You understand? To let you know that this all coincide. Christians like to dance around the Bible. That's their thing, man. They shouldn't jive, right? So this is what we reading right now. That what Christ said to love the world, right? But ask yourself, and this is something again you will only learn from the Israelite School UPK. What is the how about Shem Yahushua Barakatah?
We're good to go, right? All right, Akim. Take your questions up front. I'll take your questions online, all right? And then we'll get into my topic here today, okay? Anything first?
Sir, no questions.
Any questions in the room? All right, Akim. I need a few precepts I want you brothers to hold for me, all right? First of all, you're going to give me the story of King David. All right, there's some stories like this, Akim. I know many people who are not members of the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Stories like this, they don't quite understand, but stories like this built this school. It built who we are. It's everything we are made of. You're going to get that story. I'll give you a few more precepts. You're going to get 2 Chronicles. You're going to get 2 Chronicles. Stand by. You'll get 2 Chronicles 14 and 11. We're not going to start right there, but we'll start around all these precepts. Isaiah 41 and 11. Psalms 56 and 2. Start at Psalms 56 and 1. Deuteronomy 7 and 7. We'll start with that, right? I'm sorry. We'll start with Deuteronomy 7 and 6. 2 Chronicles 20 and 12 to 15. Ezekiel 19 and 49. 1 Corinthians 5 and 11. Drop 1 Corinthians and let's end it with Ezekiel 16 and 14. All right, so you're going to add David's story to that, right? First of all, Akim, I have to congratulate some men that I am very proud of. Stand up, brother. Give them a hand. The Kentucky 4. I mean, Salaki, the Kansas City 4. And so, KC 4, Rock. Let me tell you something. There's some hardcore men down in Kansas City, brother. And what every one of you should understand is that your day will be required for you to be hardcore. Right. What you saw those brothers do down there in Kansas City, that is their duty. It is the minimum requirement to be in this school. In this school, that's the minimum requirement. I'll give you brothers and sisters the story if you don't know it. Kansas City 4, these 4 brothers went out to speak on the street in Kansas City this week. They went out to speak as they do every weekend. 4 brothers went out to speak this week. When they got out there, 20 to 30 purple pigs from the IUIC. And for those of you brothers and sisters that don't know who the IUIC is, the IUIC, to the Israelite School of UPK, they are just another Christian group. And we've battled all of them. We've battled every Christian group you can think of. The Baptists, the Southern Baptists, the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, the Episcopal Church, the African Methodists, all of them we've battled. Every last one of them. And the IUIC is just another Christian group to us. Now, you might think they're different because they call themselves Israelites and because they wear purple. But they're just as filthy and devious and depraved as any other Christian group. And I'm going to bring that out here tonight. So there's about 30 of them out there on the street. Now, the IUIC is run by this crooked cop named Nathaniel 7. That used to be his name, years ago. I don't know what he calls himself now. I think Bishop Nathaniel. He used to be called Nathaniel 7 when he first started out. And he's a crooked cop from Brooklyn, New York. What do I mean when I say he's a crooked cop? He at one time was in the Israelite School of UPK, and he was sent into the Israelite School of UPK as an undercover detective to spy on us. Now, go research that. Go look up what I'm telling you right now. After it was over, he left the Israelite School of UPK, broke off, and the school was in shatters in New York because of men like him and his influence. And so the school in New York shattered. He left. Then he went back out on the street in his uniform, which is when the brothers in the UPK found out that he was a cop, because they would see him in his uniform. And this is the main way that they found out, because he later on got sued for police brutality and falsely arresting 3 black men in Brooklyn. The brother can get these videos if you want, or I'll just tell you all about them and you can look them up at your leisure. This is a news story. You can just Google it in your phone, all right? He got sued for police brutality and for falsely arresting 3 black men, and these 3 black men won a lawsuit against him. So then after that, he retired. Well, because of this organization and because of his influence over cops, many cops joined the IUIC. It's stinking full with pigs, that filthy group. And because of that, they behave just like every crooked cop that has ever dragged you out your car or ever tried to emasculate you in front of your wife. They behave the exact same way. This week they were out there. This brother had a chair. Now, the whole time they're harassing us at camp. Why are they harassing us? It's like I forgot to have a drink. Hold on. Need some ice in this one if you could, Warrior. Who had a question? Someone said something just now. Salaki. So now, why are they harassing us? Who would like to answer the question? It's very simple if you've been to high school or grade school. You sisters might have been through this in grade school or high school. Why were they harassing men of God out in that street corner last Saturday? Who wants to guess? Who wants to give it a shot up front?
They were trying to be bullies.
They were attempting to bully us,
Right.
just like grade school. Just think being back in grade school or being, in high school, and because it's more of them than it is of us, they in some way feel like they're strong because they believe that there is strength in numbers because they do not believe in the Lord our God.
Right.
But see, we are very different kind of men in the Israelite School of UPK. Very different, and we're nothing like them. And like this, I pray this makes all of you vaginas who are in fake Israelite groups understand the difference between us and you. We don't allow anyone to intimidate us. We're not doing that. So it's like in your mind, you're thinking you can bully someone like you bully someone in high school, but you got to think more like trying to bully someone in prison in here. Think like that. That's what this place is like. In prison, you have to fight. Do you understand? You don't have an option. See, on the schoolyard, you can play a punk and, you're afraid to fight. You can run home and find a different way home that day. But in prison, if you're challenged, you don't have a choice. We're more like that. Does everyone understand? They tried to steal one of our chairs up. They harassed us the whole day, the entire day harassing us because they feel so strong, because there's so many of them, and they in so much purple, and they feel so mighty and so big. And so they harass us and then attempt to steal a goddamn chair that belongs to Commanding General Yohana. That's his chair. We're not going to have that. He went to steal one of our chairs and then assaulted a man of God. Then the brother, of course, defended himself as he was supposed to. Give him a hand. Then all 30 of them jumped on the brothers and did a citizen's arrest, arrested the brothers because they're actually cops in purple shirts. And then called some cops up, brother, and had the brothers arrested. The cops, of course, later let us go. Then later today, the brothers called me and found out that three of the four cops that were there that arrested them were off duty. They were not on duty, but somehow they were in uniforms, waiting outside the camp, and they were not on duty at all, but they were there. I'm sure you can talk to the Kansas City 4, and they'll tell you what happened to them. They went down and found out the entire thing. So these are purple effing pigs, disgusting and vile men. And they, for some strange reason, thought that we could be intimidated of. We don't do that in here. Right. And Commanding General Yohana, when I went back and told him the story, you know what he said? He regrets one thing about that day, that we should have went out with less men. Right. Do you understand? We should have went with less. Right. Give me what Christ said about how many men he sent out. It's in the book of Matthew. I pray you know what I want, right? That's the only regret that Commanding General Yohana has. And let this be an education to all of you in the Israelite School of UPK. You are required to do the same. You must do the same, or you can't be in here. You're going to have to bow down to the Muslims, bow down to the Nation of Islam. Oh, you fake Israelites. If the IUIC goes out and challenges a fake Israelite group, they will drop to their knees and perform oral sex on every last one of them. Fake Israelites are the biggest cowards in the world. They're scared. You fake Israelites are scared of the IUIC. You're terrified of them. Not one West Side. Right. Father, we fear. And you are not allowed to show any fear or to comply or relent in any way when you are standing for the gospel. We're out there for our king. Right. You understand me? We're out there for our king. And we are men set to defend the gospel. Right. And that's what the Kansas City 4 did. Give them a hand. And give me their names as well. Give me their names as well whenever you have them. This group does this all the time, the IUIC. They do this all the time. They go to churches and Christians. They went to Geno Jennings right here in Philadelphia. Y'all know Geno Jennings? They went down to Geno Jennings church, marched thousands and millions of men all around their church. It is the funniest thing in the world to see this video. And every time I see it, I'm bewildered by it because I don't understand people that think like that. And I'll tell you. So they marched millions of men down there and circled Geno Jennings' church, right? And then the one homosexual, the lead homosexual, Nathaniel 7. And I'm making claims about them that I'm going to prove he actually is a homosexual. Actually is a gay man. Many of them in there are gay, and they participate in having sex with transsexuals. I'm going to prove all of that tonight. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. They marched around Geno Jennings' church, and then stood up there in front of one of Geno Jennings' disciples and said, listen, y'all got to stop all this dancing in this church. Y'all got to stop this saying that you're Episcopal. Y'all got to stop all of this. And as I watched it, I'm thinking, did they think they were going to intimidate Geno Jennings and make him leave his religion? That I'll never understand. I'll never understand someone that believes that through the threat of physical violence, you could get someone who believes in God to stop believing in his God. How do you even think it's possible to do something like that? If a man actually believes that God has him doing this, how can the threat of violence make him stop? Because if he believes in God, then he must be willing to die for God. Please.
I have the name, sir.
Go ahead.
Captain DeGaulle Gabar.
Captain DeGaulle Gabar, thank you for your service. Give him a hand. Keep going.
All right. Camp leader of Kansas City, officer of 5,000 Malak Banyawada.
Officer of the camp leader of Kansas City, Malak what?
Malak Banyawada.
I believe it's just Malak. That might be his Facebook handle. Malak, thank you for your service. Give him a hand.
Officer of 500, Allah Yasha.
Allah Yashad, give him a hand. Thank you for your service. Go ahead.
Allah, sir, this one gonna hit home. Young man Jay.
Young man Jay. Give young man Jay a hand. Thank you for your service. These men are no cowards, brother. And for tonight, because this is the scripture breakdown class, I'm going to attempt to teach you how to be like us. For those of you that are nothing like us, and so many of you are, you just will never make it in this school. This is not a place for you. You can't be here. You should join a group that's nice and big so you can feel safe. So you can feel like you won't get beat up. That's the type of person you are. We are completely different. And I'm going to attempt to teach you to be like us. Does everyone understand? Okay, start giving the precepts. If you have any questions, you can always ask, all right? Does anyone have them? Start with Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Now, this is the blessing that the Most High God gave Israel, brother. That he gave to Moses to give to each and every one of us. He said, we're a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Keep going.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
The Most High God has done what?
Chosen thee.
The Lord chose us, man. We're chosen by the Most High God. It's a responsibility. You look on this planet Earth right now, and all of the people on this earth are. The people who are the greatest people on the planet are the people who are the poorest and the saddest and the sickest and the most homeless. Give a special thanks to Captain Yatazak out there in Texas. Give him a hand, brother. He's another man who is no coward. He went out to terrible places out to feed the chosen people of God. Right. The Mexicans, the Haitians, the South and Central Americans. He went out there this week to El Paso, Texas, and his heart was broken by the people and the way they lived out there. And as he's trying to help them, so many of them are saying, I can't take any more food from you, because if I take any more food, they'll steal it from me. So even though I need more Pampers, I need more food, this is all that I can protect. And women would cry and say, I need more of it, but I can't, because they're watching me right now take this food from me. They're watching me take these Pampers. And once you're gone, they're going to steal it from me, so I can't take any more. And Captain Yatazak, his heart was broken for his brothers, for his sisters, for his nation. That people is the greatest people on the planet. Those people, not the people who are the richest, not the people who are the strongest, not the people who are the most educated, but the poor and the downtrodden people, the same people that the filthy cops of this world abuse and denigrate and murder. Those people are the chosen people of God. Continue.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
What?
Above all people.
Equal to.
Above all people.
With equality.
Above all people.
Above all people. That's our burden. That's our blessing. That's who we are, brother. The greatest people on the nation of earth. The 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
From the tribe of Judah down to Issachar. Blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Latinos. The greatest people. A people special unto himself. A people who God loves close to him. Keeps close to him. Continue.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you.
Stop. The Most High did not set his love upon you or choose you. Because once again, this can be something that you might want to understand. There are so many people on the planet Earth, right? You have the Chinese, the Japanese, the so-called white man, Arabs, East Indians. There are so many people on the planet Earth. And you yourself, you might have wondered sometime, well, why did he choose us? Listen very carefully. The Most High God did not choose us because, keep going.
Ye were more in number than any people.
The Lord said he didn't choose us because we were more in number than any people.
Right.
That's not why he chose us. This is that other thing, Akim. This is about courage. This is about character.
Right.
That's what this is about. If the Most High God wanted to choose the largest nation, keep reading.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
Read that again.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
This is what I learned as a trooper. This is what I learned when I was a young man. The Most High God looked out on his creation and saw all the nations and looked at the people who were the fewest, the smallest, and he set his love on them. He chose them and then made them the greatest people on the planet, which automatically did what? Made them enemies to the greater nations. Because the minute that God tells us that we're the greatest nation on earth and we're the smallest nation on earth, now we become enemies to great nations. That is what he wants. He wants your effing back against the wall. He's a father, isn't he? Don't you have sons? Don't any of you purple faggots have sons? What do you teach your son? How do you want him to be? Do you want him to cower because there's a group of people larger than him because he's outnumbered? Or does a good father want his sons back against the wall? And he wants to see you fight your way out of it. That's the Lord our God. That is how he is. It is his mentality. And I have understood this from a young man. I have understood what is required of me and the kind of courage I must display to keep my seat in this school. The Most High God chose us. We were the fewest of every nation. And he chose us. Continue.
But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn to your fathers, and had the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand.
That's why he did it, brother. He didn't do it because we were the greatest in number of any nation, because we were the fewest. He did it because he loved us, and he made an oath to our grandfathers. Right. He keeps his oath. Remember this, brothers, you made an oath. The Kansas City 4 took an oath. Right. You understand me? Those men took an oath. They had no choice but to stand on that corner that day. No choice. That's it. They didn't have a choice. Right. They couldn't retreat. They couldn't relent or repent of their decision to come out there that day. They had to stand there. Right. They had to do it. And once attacked, they had to respond. They don't have a choice. This is what you should understand if you want to have even a short career in this school. You don't have a choice either. If you want a choice, go join some pussy Israelite group. Yeah, right. Or go be a cop so you can feel strong when you bring up 8 patrol cars because one man crossed the street on a red light. Right. That's what a cop does. Cops do that every day when you get pulled over. You're looking around wondering, why are there 20 cops out here? Because they pulled me over. Who can guess why? Now that I'm trying to explain pussies to you, why is there 20 cops that pull you over at night because you had a back tail light out? Why are 20 cops showing up to the scene? Warrior? Because they're scared. And the only way that they can feel safe is to have overwhelming numbers to you sitting in your car because your tail light is out. That's the only way. Shalom, hold on, talk to Captain Ariel. You can tell, he hung up. He hung up. Everybody understands? Give me the rest of my precepts. I need to go over the story of David. Go ahead. Give me the next one I asked for. You can pick the one you want. Say again?
Can you shout one off for me, sir?
One more time.
Can you shout one of the?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I kind of got one.
No, it's all right. Okay. Hell, you can give me Isaiah 41. One second. 1 second. Read Isaiah 41 and 10 to 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10.
Let me tell you, stories like this, like I remember being a trooper and just these being, pushed into my spirit and molding who I am today. And I'm going to try to give you some of these precepts that I was given as a young man. All right? Go ahead and read.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, and verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee.
This is one time when the prophet of God, a king over Israel, had to come up against these nations who are so great in number. And if you read the Bible at all, the purple faggots don't read the Bible. Once again, they came out against Geno Jennings and demanded that Geno Jennings come out and talk to them. And demanded that Geno Jennings stop teaching whatever he's teaching that they don't like. And as I watched it, I just couldn't understand the arrogance of thinking that someone would do that. Let me give you, brothers, one of my first orders for tonight. First of all, this I would pray with a fervent, sincere prayers that the IUIC would come and circle one of our schools. I would pray that something like that would happen. And the Lord God that sits in heaven, if he is merciful, he'll let it happen. Here's what you're supposed to do. If you're alone in that school, you go outside.
Right.
In the UPK, Geno Jennings stays inside. You're not allowed to stay inside.
Right.
If you are alone in the school, if you are in the fucking supermarket and some purple pig comes up to you and wants to battle you, you give him something give him what he asked for.
Right.
Do you understand? Give him exactly what he wants. If you're out with your wife at a goddamn gender reveal with the blue dye all over you and some purple faggot wants to battle you, give him exactly what he came there for. Don't ever deny a battle, ever. Whoever wants to battle can have one. They can have one anytime they want it. Now, what am I telling you? I'm telling you what you're required to do. You stand in the Sabbath service and put your right hand on your heart and then on the Torah and you bless it and you make a covenant to defend those laws. And the IUIC are a bunch of filthy sinners, homosexuals, thieves, and liars. I have their mug shots up here and I can play tonight, or General Yohana will put them up on the screen. I have all of it if you need it. They steal from their own members. They send dick pics to each other. I have that right here. I have it right here. I could play it tonight, but I might not have time. You can go find it out on your own. And they go and attempt to kill transsexuals that they're dating. And they murdered a poor little sister who had sex with one of their African dogs in Africa. She got murdered. They thought they could force Geno Jennings to give up his religion. Listen, maybe Geno Jennings doesn't come outside. We come outside. We have to come outside. Does everyone understand me? If I ever hear about one of you saying, well, I thought it was, what's the word cowards use? I had to use wisdom. That's a coward. What'd you do? Well, see, it was like 40 of them. And I was there in the supermarket, so you know I had to use, the Bible says be harmless as a dove and gentle as a gentle. Brother, you better go outside. You're going to be gentle out of these doors. We can't let a coward sitting here with us. This isn't like high school. This is like prison. Am I making it? You understand? You brothers seem like good, nice brother. You might have never been to jail. But it's more like that. It's not like high school where the bullies run the school, you know, because they're bigger. And there's so many of them. It's like prison where if you don't fight, you die. So you don't have a choice to fight. You have to defend yourself. You can never let anyone punk you, ever. Why? Because you stand for the King of Israel. Right. You represent him. And if you are a coward, then Christ is a coward. If you are divided, then Christ is divided. We stand together. We stand with each other. And you are to defend this gospel and let everyone know that flesh is not your strength, but God is your strength. Everyone understands? I pray. I pray. We shall see them. We'll find out what you have. We'll see your quality one day. Kansas City 4, they have proved their quality. You'll have your chance to prove yours. Either that or go join the Muslims. It's a lot of them. Go get a fucking bow tie and you can be with Farrakhan and you'll be safe there. You'll be safe with them. Keep reading.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 41, and verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee.
That's what the Most High God said. This king was scared, man, because it was armies of men against him. Armies of them. What are you afraid of? A bunch of fake cops in purple shirts? You're scared? You're scared of them. Them. This king had to stand against the unified armies of 4 nations came out to get him. We know you could never handle that because you're a coward. But in the UPK, we don't allow cowards to be in here. This king was scared, so what did he do? He turned to the Most High God. He went to the Lord about it. Keep going.
Be not dismayed, for I am thy God.
Here's the Most High God response. He went to the God and said, listen, I'm scared. There's so many of them. They're a nation. What do? The Most High's response was what?
Be not dismayed.
Don't be dismayed. This being dismayed is like being worried. Don't be worried. You'll be fine. It's okay. I know you only feel safe if it's a whole lot of you, like your gangs, right? Or your fraternities, right? What fraternities do you pick? The ones with the most people, right? That's the one that you like. Your black fraternities, your groups, the ones with the most people, that's the one you pick. I totally understand that because you're a woman, you're what's between a woman's legs, and you're a coward. But there are other men out there that believe in something. And we believe in the Most High God. We believe in Christ, our King, who died for us. We believe it's our basic service to him to do the same. I pray you understand. Continue.
I will strengthen thee.
I will what?
Strengthen
the Most High God told this king, I will strengthen you up. I'll make you strong. I'll give you strength. Give a hand to Captain Yashamar. Give him a hand. I heard. See me one more time, warrior. The sisters were telling me Captain Yashamar was in chat house this today. What's the name of that? Clubhouse today, giving fake Israelites hell. So Captain Yashamar was trying to teach them to be men up. And it's hard because they're scared. If the IUIC, I've seen it. I've seen the IUIC come out into these fake Israelites, brother, when they're out on the street doing their speaking. And they all but drop their drawers, I can bend over. They all but present where the sun doesn't shine, their backsides to the IUIC. They all but lay down on the ground and perform fellatio on every purple shirt. They're so terrified. Right. Was one of them where the cat said, well, where's Nathaniel? The purple faggot said, you mean Bishop Nathaniel? The cat said, I mean Bishop Nathaniel. I said, do you think you can deal with us? And you're scared of these purple cowards, gay men, sexual deviants. You can never be in here. This man went to the Lord. The Lord said, don't be dismayed. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Keep going.
Come. I will help thee.
I will what?
Help thee.
I'll help you. Keep going.
Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. That is what makes you stronger. That. Being in the right. We're in the right, brother. We stand with Christ. They do not. We defend the poor and the needy and feed the poor and the needy. Let me give you an IUIC quote. It's on video. Someone asked them, well, do you, the water warrior, do you have soup kitchens? Who knows what their reply was? Anyone see the tape? They said, do you have soup kitchens? The IUIC says, we don't do soup kitchens. You're on your own. That's a quote that is in the list of videos. We don't do soup kitchens. You're on your own. They hate blacks and Latinos. They're crooked cops. All crooked cops hate black people because when they arrest them, they're sick of them. They're sick of having to arrest them. Like those 4 black cops who wore purple and gold in Memphis and killed that brother in Memphis. Everyone remembers that, correct? They wore purple and gold too. They were in a Greek fraternity whose colors are purple and gold, and they murdered a black man. They can't stand black people, crooked cops. They hate black people. Crooked black cops are racist against black people. They hate you. Well, this king went up against nations of people that hate you. And God said, don't be afraid. I will stand with you with my right arm of righteousness. Keep going.
Come. Verse 11. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded.
You know what that term means? Incensed. All they that were so angry against you. That's what incensed means. They were so angry against you. They shall be ashamed and confounded. Don't worry about that. You'll be fine. The KC4 fought 35 men and the regular Kansas City police. What happened that night? They went home, had sex with beautiful women. That's it. They went home. They got up after fighting 30 men. It was 4 of them. They got up, went home, and had sex with beautiful women. Right. They're fine. Everybody understands, right? They're okay. It's no big deal. You'll be all right, too. You'll be fine. But don't be a bitch. Keep going.
Come. They shall be as nothing.
They shall be as what?
Nothing.
One day the IUIC will be nothing. You know how many of these faggots I've seen come and go? I'm almost bored with it. So many times I think I'm bored with Israelite groups and this and that. It bores me. I want to get in there with the Congress and the Senate and, something big. But these pigs are just vile, disgusting things. Pick a video about them being nasty. Give me the video where they're pretending to piss. Do you have that one with the Christmas tree? It's on the list. All right, just give me a ridiculous video with the IUIC. All right, you'll be fine. Everybody understand? You got to battle them. It's not like battling the nation of Moab. You understand? It's not like battling the Hagarenes and the Girgashites and the Hittites. You'll be fine. Be a man, however, and honor your oath. Keep going.
And they that strive with thee shall perish.
And they that strive with thee shall perish. They'll all perish out. They'll all be gone in a minute. I remember it was another group in New York, the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. Oh, they did the same thing. They went around to every fake Israelite group, went around to the churches and demanded that they stop using physical intimidation. They did that until their leader died at 43 years old. He's dead. And now I don't know where they are anymore. They'll be gone. The same thing will happen to the IUIC. They'll be just gone in a second. Remember Farrakhan and the Million Man March? Who remembers that? Oh, my Lord. Farrakhan, he had 1 million bow ties. 1 million marched. The IUIC tries to march around hundreds and thousands. They think that's something. They think that makes them safe. They think that protects them against us. It doesn't. It does not. 1,000 men does not protect you from the wrath of God when you come near any member of the ISUPK. 1,000 men can't keep us off of you. That won't help you. What you should do is never put us in a situation where we have to defend ourselves. You should not do that. 1 million men Farrakhan had it back in the 90s. And then he became a Scientologist. And then he became a Mason. And now who in the hell knows where they are? The same thing will happen to the IUIC. Keep going, whoever was reading.
Come. Verse 12. Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them.
You shall what?
Seek them and shalt not find them.
Yeah, one day you'll seek them and you won't find them anymore. They'll just be gone. This big bad people who were so great and made fake Israelites so afraid, and then they'll be gone. And you'll look for them and they won't be there. If you let someone else read for the brother so he can handle what he's doing.
Oh God. Even them that contended with thee.
Even what?
Even them that contended with thee.
Who will you look for and they won't be there anymore? The people who tried to fight you. Those people will be gone. They won't be here anymore. All you have to do is not turn cur every time you see them. Is not give up your dignity and your integrity. You must honor your oath. And you took an oath to stand if it meant losing your life with our King Jesus Christ.
Right.
That's your oath, and you must do it. This is not something your wife has to do. This is not something your child has to do. This is something that you have to do. This is a thing of honor among men. And honorable men understand what I'm saying. You, I'm sure you do not. You don't get this. Is that it right? Where are we at right now?
Isaiah 41:12.
Bear with me. Read 13.
Oh God. This is the book of Isaiah 41.
That's enough. That's probably enough. I have so many to go through. All right, let me give you another one. Anyone has any questions, you know to just let me know, right? Give me Psalms 56:1, all right?
Oh God. This is the book.
I'm sorry. Hurry up.
Not a question, but somebody I'm going to bring out about the incident that happened.
Go ahead, brother.
Me and the brother was watching it live as it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And before everything broke out. And in the course of the two camps right next to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and the brother just talking, the speakers just talking about each other.
Yeah.
I think one of the brothers, whoever was speaking said, "I'll die for Command Junior Hana." Because he said that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the camp's response was, "We'll die for Command Junior Hana. We won't die for no man but Christ." And he said, and it's weird to me because he's saying that he only willing to die for Christ, as he's around 20 other people.
That's convenient.
At the camp.
It's real convenient to say you only die for Christ, seeing he already died and is not here anymore. Let me give you a precept since Ariel made the statement. Give him a hand. Do what? Give me John, the 13th chapter. All right. Give me greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for his brother. See, it's easy to say you love Christians. Once again, just like them, the IUIC are Christians. Every Christian says the exact same thing. What do Christian women say who are single? I'm married to Jesus. What do Catholic nuns say? I'm married to Jesus. It is so easy to honor Jesus because he's not here, and you can lie about him and you don't drop dead on the spot. So everyone can just say, I serve Jesus. I would die for Jesus. Jesus is in my heart, because there's not a voice that comes out of the sky to call you a goddamn liar. So everyone can say, I will do this for Jesus. I will do that for Jesus. That is not a barometer of who you are. This is the perfect barometer for who you are. What will you do for your brother? Because he is here. He's right here. So if you say you'll die for him, we're going to find out. We'll see. If you say you would give up anything for him, we will find out. That you can prove. Christ proved that. He did that. And now you're required to do the same. Right. The only thing I'm trying to tell you, brothers, is if you're looking for, safety and feeling safe, how do the members of Creflo Dollar's church feel, on a Sunday morning? Raise your hand if you've been to Creflo Dollar's church. Anybody in here back when you were in the world? Oh, they must feel like they're in a warm blanket. with 25,000 people going, I lift up my hands, and they're singing all in unison. They must feel like they're part of something so much bigger than themselves. And it makes them feel so safe as they stand in that crowd of 25,000 people hidden in that crowd. Because not only are they hidden, but their sins are hidden. All of their homosexuality, their lying and their stealing and their lasciviousness, hidden in the crowd of, I love you, God, I love you, Jesus. It's a lot harder to have to stand out. It's a lot harder to be seen and for everything you do to be seen. You can't say you love God and then say, I would only die for Jesus. He doesn't need you to die for him. But I do. And he does. And he does. He needs you to defend him with your life because his life is in danger. Give it to me.
Oh God. This is the book of John, chapter 15.
Skip up to the prayer.
Oh God. This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse. Stop here.
You can just skip up 2 verses, Doc. That's all you got to do for me.
Oh God.
Go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 11. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. Verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love.
I'm sorry, read it one more time.
Title 5. This is the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
This is my commandment.
This is my what?
Commandment.
This is my suggestion.
Commandment.
This is something that you could do if you want to do.
Commandment.
This is my commandment, and this is in the New Testament. Keep going.
That you love one another.
That you love who?
One another.
That you love Jesus.
One another.
That you love God.
One another.
That you love one another. It's a commandment from Christ. Keep going.
As I have loved you.
As I have loved you. Jesus doesn't care about how much you say you love him. He wants to see if you love him by how much you love each other. Because that's real. That's not just talk. That's something that you will be required of. Keep going.
Verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this.
Greater love hath no man than this. Keep going.
That a man lay down his life for his friend.
Lay down his life for who?
His friend.
For Jesus.
His friend.
For God.
His friend.
That's in the Bible, Christians. The Israelite School of UPK is built on this. This is where we come from. Rockefeller, hallelujah, Yahweh. Let me give you another order, and listen very carefully to this. If one of your brothers is ever being choked by a police officer, if a police officer ever has his knee on your brother's neck, you are ordered to get that police officer off of your brother. You do not have a choice. You don't have a decision to make. You can't do the wise thing. You can do the thing that makes good common sense. You have to get him off of your brother. Let me give you a suggestion. Go and push your brother out the way and replace your brother's neck with yours. Put your neck in the place of your brother's neck. If a cop has his knee on your brother's back, push your brother out the way and put your back there and let him kneel on your back. You make yourself the one who's choked, but you make sure that your brother lives. If that is too much for you, if that makes us a cult, then you should leave. Because in here, we believe there is no greater love than giving our life for our brother. The Kansas City Four Rock, they had no choice but to do what they did. No choice. It was 35 purple pigs from the IUIC who are undercover cops who joined that organization to abuse and beat up black people, and they have the gall to think they could intimidate us, and we would give up our belief. We would turn against our king. We would break our oath. Give me the violent, take it by force. There is nothing that anyone could do that could turn us off this path. Nothing. Not death, nothing could do it. And I don't know how you Christians even survive in America without thinking like us. How do you grow up black and Latino in America scared every day? Every day you're outnumbered. Every day you're up against some adversary who is bigger than you, stronger than you. How do you handle it without thinking like us? How do you handle bills? How do you handle oppression? How do you handle sickness, diabetes, and heart disease? How do you handle a prognosis that is so dire when they tell you your child has autism and your child has cancer and your father has cancer and you have breast cancer? How do you handle living here in cowardice? You can't survive in this hell without being brave. There is no way to be here without being brave. You think you can avoid joining us and go back into the world because you're scared to face the critique and the hatred of white America,
Right.
scared to face the hatred of the government and the Christians, and then you go back into your life and you have to face autism, diabetes, prison, and death. You can't run from danger, Ak. There is no way to get away from it. One day, Ak, you'll have to face it, Ak. One day you'll have to look it in the goddamn eye and say, let God's will be done. Well, the Kansas City Four did that. What will you do? We shall see. We're going to find out. We're going to find out what you'll do. I've made my decision. Keep reading.
God. This book of Matthew, chapter 11, and verse 12. And from the days of John.
That's it up. Oh, I'm sorry. You have the new one I asked for, right? Read that.
And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence.
The what suffered violence?
Suffereth violence.
Now, this is Christ speaking in the New Testament. And he's saying from the days of John the Baptist. Now, remember, Christ lived on the earth at the same time as John the Baptist, right? So he's saying since John the Baptist started teaching until now, the kingdom of heaven, read,
Suffereth violence.
the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. What does it mean to suffer something? To endure it. To endure it. What is the kingdom of heaven? What officer would like to answer me? I'm sorry, Yedaya. Do I have any questions online that someone would like me to answer? So I'll answer them for you. If you have any questions in the room, just ask. It's okay. Don't be scared. I think that's what the class is about. All right? So just ask the question. If not, I'll move on.
No question.
What does it mean to, I'm sorry, in the back.
I had a question, just a general breakdown for Jeremiah 17.
Please.
11.
Go ahead up.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 11. As the partridge sitteth on eggs.
Give me the one with the P, with the one of the IUIC trying to pee on a Christmas tree. It's an image. It should be on your list. Go ahead. If not, you die knows where it is. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 11. As the partridge sitteth on eggs and hatcheth them not, so he that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at the end shall be a fool.
A partridge is like a pigeon, similar to, it's a clean bird you could eat like a pigeon. And what it's comparing someone that is cultivating and wishing and hoping to get rich like a bird sitting on an egg that never hatches. And so many of you are in that situation. I know I'm talking to the tribe of Judah, so just know I'm talking directly about your gambling problem with those scratch-offs. That's what I'm going straight there to your scratch-off problem. And your, what's the thing down in Atlantic City? Push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button. Slot machines. To your slot machine problem, to your numbers hole problem, to your, let me give you the other big one. This is a big Judite one. One day I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a basketball player. I'm going to be a famous rapper. That's you sitting on some dream that is never going to hatch. Do you understand? Stop. That comes from America. America is such an evil and disgusting place and weird at the same time in that, you know why there's no black people in America? We aren't ever part of any real revolution, and revolutions never work in America with blacks and Latinos because all of us think that one day we'll be the owner class. You all think you're going to be Jay-Z one day. So because of that, you don't, and in your mind, you think like, yeah, taxes are too high. They can't take all of your money in taxes. What in the hell do you care how much money they take in taxes? You think like you own the team. Can I give you a perfect example? Who in here, raise your hand if you thought that it was so stupid for, what's the fool's name? The basketball player.
Ja Morant.
If it, what's his name?
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant?
Ja Morant.
Say it again.
With the gun?
What's his name again? Ja, right. Ja Morant. Is it Morant?
Constantly.
If you thought it was so dumb for Ja Morant to hold a gun up in a video, you think like the owner of the Memphis Grizzlies. That's you. You don't think like Ja Morant. You don't think like an employee. You think like the owner. So you're saying, how could you miss all those endorsements? How could you blow all that money? The NBA is a league and an organization that has a profile to uphold. Do you own a team? You think like an owner and you're poor. That's why you can't have revolution. Because you'll never organize. You'll never do anything where the workers and the poor people come together to take money from the rich. Nigga, because you think one day you'll be rich. So you side with rich people. Yeah, Jay-Z, what would you rather have, $500 million or a dinner with Jay-Z? We should be doing this. We should sign contract. Why do you care if Ja Morant blew, how much money did he blow from flashing a legal gun in Memphis? A legal gun. Guns are legal. It's legal to show a gun. It's legal to film a gun. All you talked about is him missing out on $39 million. How much did another basketball player pay to date Ice Spice? Did I F them up? I try not to F these rappers up, names up. Ice Spice? Now, do y'all got to laugh like that? Is that necessary? That's the UPK. Get y'all a hand. Y'all don't give a damn. Y'all don't care how y'all embarrass me. You think they care about the purple fans? They don't give a damn about embarrassing me. What is the woman's name, please, Nicole? Oh, Yediah. Thank you. Ice Spicy? What are you saying? Ice Spice. Is that the name? How much did a basketball player spend on a date with Ice Spice?
I believe it was like $200,000.
He spent $500,000 on one date with Ice Spice. If Ja Morant had that $39 million, how fast do you think it would take him to spend it? A year? On cars and cocaine? How about vacations, fur coats? How fast do you think he could, if he went on a date with a woman, which if it's a good date, lasts what, till the morning? If it's an excellent date, it lasts till the morning. What's that, 6 hours probably? 7 hours? He spent $500,000. What the hell do you care if he missed $39,000? Why? Because you're an owner of a basketball team and you're a sponsor. You think like a rich man. When if you could just think like this, I am from the lower class. I'm poor. My father was poor. My mother was poor. My grandfather was poor. My great-grandmother was a slave. I must fight the rich. I have to be against them. I have to take from them. I have to outthink them. I have to outbid them. I have to outnegotiate them. I will never be one of them. All I can do is make life better for my class. Then you have revolution up. Then you have it.
Right.
I pray you understand. Come on.
It's like a terrible I made, but you saying it just so heavy because it reminded me about when the purple faggots went out there to Barclays, you know what I mean, the Barclays Center to protest for Kyrie Irving. And Nasty Nate told him, you know what I mean, he got to be an Israelite secretly.
Do you have that? I totally forgot about that till you just said that. But the IUIC, they went and circled the Barclays Center and for Kyrie Irving because he was in need of help. You know, he's a rich man who needs help, and IUIC shows up whenever a rich billionaire or almost billionaire needs help because he might lose his job. That was an effing emergency. Kyrie Irving might have lost his job. So they went and marched around the basketball arena to make sure that Kyrie Irving gets his job. What do you think they do if one of their people loses their job? Smack him in the face and tell him, do better on your job. Don't lose your job. They went and marched around a basketball arena for a rich man to keep his job. Who in the hell cares? If Kyrie Irving lost his job, would he move into the Richard Allen projects? They're gone, Salakia. What are the projects you have? Bartram Village? What are the projects down here around the corner? You got projects where you live, right? If Kyrie Irving lost his job, would he end up there? Kyrie Irving has hundreds of millions of dollars if he loses his job. The purple faggots told Kyrie Irving, be a secret Israelite. Don't ever tell anybody you're an Israelite. Keep it nice and quiet because they are scared. They're scared of white people. The UPK is not afraid of white people, and we damn sure not afraid of some coward in purple. That is not who we are. That is not who you are if you're going to be in here. Right? You're going to go out with less people than the Kansas City 4, with less. And you'll be required to do the same. Or else go join somebody else. Anything else? Give me the one I asked for. The kingdom of heaven does what?
Oh God. Suffereth violence.
The kingdom of heaven suffers violence. Violence. What is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is the spirit inside every man who will rule the kingdom that Christ is over.
Right.
Isn't that why we're all here? Don't Christians always say they want Jesus to come back, right? And they say that the new Jerusalem is coming and that heaven will be here and heaven will reign on earth. Well, who will be in charge of heaven on earth? The people who really believed in Jesus, the people who stood with him. Well, if you're going to rule when Jesus returns, don't you have to start training for it now? Don't you have to get ready? Don't you have to become the kind of person that could be in charge of a government? Don't you have to become an official, someone who cannot be bribed and cannot be coerced? Don't you have to be a man who cares about his people more than himself? If not, how will you rule when Jesus returns? Because right now you're half a drug addict and you have a porn addiction. You ain't touched your wife in months because you're addicted to pornography, because pornography is easier than being with a woman and you're lazy and disgusting. How will you rule the kingdom of heaven? You steal. You're some type of thief and you steal things. You smoke weed and smoke cigarettes. How will you rule in the kingdom of heaven? You're not prepared to be in charge. Well, the Israelite School of UPK is a school where we teach men to be in charge now because Christ could come back tomorrow. The IUIC is a place, it's a haven for pedophiles. That's what the IUIC is, a haven for thieves and liars, a haven for crooked purple pigs, cops who are so corrupt that they hurt their own people under the guise of religion. This is a place for men to be trained to rule the earth. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence. What is the kingdom of heaven? The spirit in the next rulers of this planet. And that spirit is under attack. And it's been under attack since John the Baptist. What happened to John the Baptist? Who wants to raise your hand and tell me? See me one more time after that, please, warrior. No one knows. Anyone online know what happened to John the Baptist? Warrior in the back. John the Baptist went out one day and he told this woman, this sister Salama, who was an adulterous woman who was having sex with two men. He called her an adulteress and her man an adulterer. And this woman, Salama, or Shalama, she demanded that the man who she was having sex with, cheating on her husband, she demanded that man give her the head of John the Baptist on a silver platter because she was so insulted by him calling her a slut and a whore. And that husband had John the Baptist's head cut off because he called someone a whore who was in power, who was in charge. John the Baptist, of course, did it anyway. And Christ is saying that the kingdom of heaven has suffered violence from the time of John the Baptist until now. What does he mean by now? His men are suffering persecution. They're trying to kill him. They eventually did murder him. And they eventually murdered most of his disciples. Because that's what evil men think. Evil men are, what's the word I always like to remember? They're fascist. Alexa, what does the word fascist mean?
As a noun, fascist is usually defined as a person who believes in or sympathizes with fascism. As an adjective, fascist is usually defined as of or like a governmental system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all.
Alexa, stop. Forcibly oppressing opposition and criticism with force. People that think that they can get you to stop doing what you're doing with physical force. You understand? They don't convince people that you're wrong. They don't have an argument that's better than yours. They don't pull scriptures that defeat you pulling scriptures that you're pulling. They believe that physical force can prove that they're stronger than you. That's fascism up. And that is what the kingdom of heaven suffers, man. People think that they can come and try to harm us and that we'll stop teaching and that we'll go away. Come on, what are you even doing? We took an oath. We'll never stop. We'll die and men will stand in our footsteps and continue. We will never stop. It will never happen. You Brakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Keep going. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. The IUIC are violent, just like every gay man. You never met any violent gay men? They're violent. They're in the prisons. They're violent because they're all struggling with. Give me the transsexual up here who was in IUIC and show me the paperwork when he had the purple I Love Jesus gold shirt on with the gold fringes. They're violent men. The IUIC is violent. They believe that they're fighting all types of sexual urges with transsexualism, and they're hateful and violent, and they believe that they can harm somebody. The problem is we're not Geno Jennings, and we're not some Christians that you assault. You can also hold on deck the Christian women that they were out there fighting. Christian women hitting them with shoes because they're fascist. They believe that the threat of physical violence will stop people from believing in their God. We will never stop. Never. We don't even consider the IUIC a threat. We fought actual threats. The actual FBI. Let a brother call in who the FBI came to his house. And then you tell me if we give a fuck about the IUIC. We do not. We had the FBI sitting in our goddamn living rooms. I was on a goddamn plane one time going to North Carolina, and some white man in a baseball cap came to sit on the plane. And the stewardess said, "What's your name?" He said, "Now pretend that my slave name is John Smith." The stewardess said, "What's your name?" The white man said, "John Smith, I mean Harry Johnson." I said, he said my slave name. He said it. He said, "What's your name?" Smith, I mean Harry Johnson. And she gave him a seat right in front of me. He said, my slave name is not a common name. It's not like John Smith. Do you understand? And he said my name and sat next to me the whole goddamn plane ride there. And I went like this. Just like this. And he said, and he did not look at me. And I turned just like this. Captain Josiah comes home. The Homeland Security is in his living room. Captain LeBun comes home. The FBI is in his house. Officer, who's the officer down there in Minnesota? Macabre comes home. The FBI is out on his porch. Do I need to go on? We're scared of some purple gay boys choir. The FBI is all over us all the time. Why? Because we dare to say that the white man is the devil and Jesus Christ is black. Yeah, I think we'll be all right with the IUIC. I think we can handle it. I think we'll be just fine with them. But just know this: we will defend ourselves.
Right.
Please believe that. You can't steal. You can't steal from us. What do you have? Look at this. Go ahead and read that.
Colonel Khan, sir. Colonel Khan. A transgender Evansville woman shot in the face told police that her alleged attacker, who identifies with a black separatist group, shouted a homophobic slur during the assault.
Do you have the group that what they wore?
Oh, I know even better. I got a picture of him.
Oh, go ahead. No problem. Do that. Put that up. This is one of them right there. He went and had a date with a transsexual man. Went on a date, had a lovely evening. He treated the transsexual like a real gentleman. At the end of the evening, though, he was struggling with, and these gay men are like that. They struggle with, they don't want to be gay. They struggle with it, and then he shot the transgender in the face. Shot the transgender. He's a homosexual man. So is Nathaniel. Bishop Nathaniel has been with a man. He's a gay man. If I show you his picture, you'll go, I see it. Go ahead.
Marcus, sir, he had a picture on a horse recently, and I was like, he was posing like a bad bitch.
He was a bad bitch. He was so gay. Do you have the one where the member said that Nathaniel sent him a can I use foul language in here? You sisters look like they delicate and they don't let their feet touch the ground. I don't want to say any profanity. Sometimes it happens by mistake. We all fall short of the glory of Jesus. All right, give me the other precepts I have while the brother is looking for that. What's the other precept I had? Then I need to get to David's story.
I got 2 Corinthians.
Not 2 Corinthians. I don't think that was the one I wanted. I think it was Psalms. Psalms sounds right. Give me Psalms 56 and 1.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
This is him.
There you go. You see him right there. That's him. He shot that transsexual in the face after a delightful evening at dinner with the transsexual. I'll just keep going. Remind me to end the class with the scriptures about the man that wears purple. That's in the Bible. Okay, I got to keep going for time's sake. Also, stand by for Commanding General Yohana's show. We're doing it tonight upstairs. You brothers and sisters want to come check it out. You can come check out Commanding General Yohana's class upstairs tonight. We're going to get it on and continue this. And, and that's that. All right, what do you have? If I have questions, Jediah, please tell me, all right? Go ahead.
This book of Psalms, 56, and verse 1. Mm-hmm. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up.
Look at that. This is David speaking. David is who we're about to read about in a few minutes. David, the Most High God said that David was a man after his own heart. Meaning David fought like the Most High God. That's what your heart is. Your heart in the Bible is synonymous with your mind. The Most High said, David is a man after my own heart. David loved to fight. He enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to him to fight. That's how God is. The Bible says what? God is a man of war. That's how he is. And the Most High loved David because David liked to fight. And this is what David said. David, at one time, he was fighting so many battles up. David had at one time 32 men. Then he grew to his peak to 600 men. And he was fighting thousands of men. And so he went to the Most High God many nights, brother, praying for deliverance, praying that God would stand with him and give him victory over his many adversaries. And the Most High God stood with David. And in the end, though it was rough and though he was hungry, It was one time when he didn't have bread or a sword to fight. And the priest gave him showbread to eat and gave him Goliath's sword that they had wrapped up and hidden away. They gave it to him. Otherwise, he didn't even have a damn weapon. They gave it to him because he was poor and suffering, standing for the kingdom of God against an army of enemies and adversaries. And this is one of the prayers that he said at times like that. Read it again.
O God, be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up.
Man would swallow me up. We have so many enemies in the Israelite school of UPK.
Right.
The list is long. Battles I've been in, God, battles you're going to be in. And I envy you for the battles of the future. I envy you young brothers so much, because every battle I've been in, I gained something out of it. And I envy the Kansas City 4 that they had to go through that day. It's so envious to me because that is how men are built.
Right.
Men are built from days like that, from battling the Nation of Islam. Back when this school started, one of the founding members of our school, Abba Bibbins, was murdered in Newark, New Jersey by the Nation of Islam. And that murder sent the Israelite school that they were in at the time, sent them scattering for fear of being killed themselves. During the time in 1969, when Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam were what? Mighty and strong. Yet we still had the audacity to go out on the street and speak when the Muslims believed that the street was theirs.
Right.
Malcolm X was out. He was alive and speaking. They believed the streets were theirs in 1969. Abba Bibbins had the audacity to go to Newark, New Jersey and speak. How many brothers were out there with him that day? Who knows the story? He was alone. He went by himself on purpose. That's the UPK. On purpose, he went by himself. That day, the Nation of Israel the Nation of Islam attacked him and murdered him. He died. And the Israelite group they were in, they all went home. They fled, except for 7 men. 7 men weren't afraid. They were angry. Yeah. There's a time for that. So many people try to get you to suppress your anger. Like your anger is somehow unclean or unallowed. The Bible says this: there is a time and a place for all things, a time to embrace and a time to cease from embracing, a time to kill and a time to make alive. There is a time for anger. 7 men decided not to go home, not to be deleted or rejected. 7 decided to be angry. And those 7 men created the Israelite School of UPK. And in their wisdom, passed it down to Commanding General Yohana. They didn't get deterred by Abba Bibbins dying. They were fucking angry about it.
Right.
It angered them. It made them angry at Islam. They didn't want to leave. They wanted to get back out on the street and throw Qurans up and down the block. That's what they wanted to do. And they did it. Those 7 men went back out on the street and threw the Quran up and down the block and went into the Quran and showed that cow, heifer 1:22 says that the Israelites are the chosen people of God in the Quran. How many people know this? You open the Quran. This brings my heart, gives my heart joy. To open the Quran up, read heifer 1:22. The Israelites are my preferred people, of whom I love, and they are the preferred people of the planet Earth. The Quran says that the Israelites are the chosen people of God. And then we throw the Quran down the street like garbage. I've done that so many times, I can't even count it. In front of bow ties, in front of kufis and prayer rugs. And they lose their mind. They go nuts over that. They don't like that. They don't like that. But I do it for Abba Bibbins. I do it for my brother who lost his life doing it. I do it for my king who died 2,000 years ago, standing up to oppression. And the Kansas City 4, they understand the assignment. They understand what they have taken an oath to do. Keep reading.
Oh God. He's fighting daily, oppressing me.
He's fighting daily, oppressing me. David said, these wicked men would swallow me up. Why? Because it's so many of them. They swallow me up. And they fight daily, oppressing me. In the UPK, we fight the drug dealers and the police. We fight the Christians and the Muslims. We fight everybody. Everybody is against us. And we love to have it so. Continue.
Verse 2. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me.
They be what?
They be many that fight against me.
They be what?
They be many that fight against me.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, Mark. That's why I joined this school. I saw the Nation of Islam, and I saw the Christians, and I saw all of them when I was coming up young in the school. I went to Farrakhan rallies. I was at the Millie Man March. I was out there with 1 million men marching. Then I saw these brothers, it was about 7 or 8 of them on the streets of Philadelphia, and they were no cowards.
Right.
I looked at them, I said, that's the place for me. I'm joining them so I can fight everybody else.
Right.
Because if I join this group, then I can fight everyone else. If I join the Muslims, what do I have to do? Shalom, brother. We're friends. We all come together. Love and peace, brother. That's not who I am. I can't do that. You can do that. You'll bend down and suck the penis of whoever is stronger than you. I'm sure. I'm sure if a man is big and tall, what do? Suck his penis, right? If he's big and tall and strong, full of muscles, what do? Perform oral sex. I'm sure you do that. Me, not me, however. That's not what I would do.
Right.
I can't do that. I can't think my life is so precious that I would never lose it for my manhood. To me, my life is not that important. What the fuck am I? I gotta live forever? My friends didn't. I have to live forever? I don't think I do. I think there are things in life that are more important than my life. Because of that, I chose a group that would make me enemies with everyone else to be at peace with God.
Right.
Continue.
Oh God, O thou most high. Verse 3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee.
That's what David said. When I'm afraid, I'll trust in you. What do you do when you're afraid? Join a group that makes sure that you never get in any trouble? A lot of you, the IUIC teaches that a man can only have one wife. A lot of you join the IUIC because you're afraid of your woman. You're scared of her. Here's what you women don't understand. Your husband only is in the IUIC because he's scared of you. He's afraid of you. He thinks you're going to put him on child support. So he joins the IUIC because he knows if you join us, she's going to leave you and put you on child support. Here's what you don't know about your husband. He'll join a group that only believes in marrying one wife. What will he do on the weekend for the women? If you marry a man in the IUIC or a Christian who believes that a man is only allowed to have one woman, what will your husband be doing on the weekend? Sisters, no one knows. I know you know, sis. You're One West. Answer it for everybody else.
Go to a bar, clubs.
And do what? And find who in those bars and those clubs?
Other women.
Other women? Put it back on the screen. See, you brothers are young. Who else says you can only have one wife? The Christians. Who has ever heard of the down low brother? Am I blowing your mind by saying that term? Right? Christians believe that one ring, one marriage, polygamy is wrong. And then they have someone called the down low brother in church who does only have one wife. And on the weekend, he's having sex with his basketball friends. He's having sex with the friends he plays video games with. Those buddies of his, like that movie Best Man, ha ha ha, we playing basketball. He's having sex with them. Those guys. They have sex with men. They only believe in marrying one woman. Here it is on the screen. That's it right there. Everybody understands? Wouldn't you purple bitches, excuse my language, wouldn't you purple bitches rather open your legs for a real man? That's what UPK women get to enjoy. A UPK woman, if your husband is in the Israelite school of UPK, she bends over and turns around and sees a warrior back there. You understand me? She opens her legs and a killer gets on top of her. Wouldn't you rather do that than have sex with some man who says, happy wife, happy life? A woman is always right. Where you going, baby? Baby, I gotta go. I gotta work overtime. Transsexual USA, here I come. Gay websites, here I come. Prostitute. Oh, you got more for Zalaka? Go ahead. No, please play it.
And penis. What would you consider me to be? That you are naked? Brother, let me ask you this before I say.
Pause, I can tell them, give me context. These two cats were in the IUIC. They left the IUIC over this problem that they're about to describe. And they're going to describe the problem that happened in the IUIC. Go ahead. Oh, then give me Mahayaman. Do you have the one where a member of the IUIC said he wanted to spit in Mahayaman's face? Get it from Yediah. You absolutely do have it. It's in the IUIC did a class or a show or whatever they do, and they pulled up the Sister Mahayaman's page, and they said they wanted to spit in her face. It's on the list. You got to call Yediah. You got to call Ibad and get it, but play this first. Go ahead.
Man's penis. What would you consider me to be? Faggot, homo, what the fuck is wrong with you? So, excuse me, brother's French. But here's the thing. We're not trying to make light of this. This is the thing. The bishop sent me a naked picture of this brother's penis. And you deacons, some of y'all got that same picture. So why am I bringing this out? Not to belittle anyone. This was weighing heavy on me because now these allegations of the bishop are coming up. And I'm saying to myself, oh man, what the hell is going on here? So now, what do you think will happen? I'm going to start reflecting on certain things that occurred. So, like I said, I don't want to be associated with that shit. This was weighing heavy on me because now these allegations of the bishop are coming up. And I'm saying to myself, oh man, what the hell is going on here? And I'm saying to myself, oh man, what the hell is going on here? It
was weighing heavy on the soul. Slovakia. Bishop Nathaniel sent him a naked man's penis. That weighed heavy on his soul. Slovakia. And so, that's why he left out of there. So, but they only believe in having more than one. They only believe in having one wife. So, celebrate that. They only have one wife. Now, when it comes to boys, that's a whole different thing. Give me Mahayaman. You don't have it? Mahayaman, where's Malak at? And Mahayaman. Have them call him Malak and Mahayaman. Sister Mahayaman is married to Malak, I believe. Am I right about that? Or am I wrong? She's married. So one of the purple faggots, they went up on some class or something yesterday. The brother sent me the footage. And he was so angry at Mahayaman because Mahayaman congratulated her husband for being a powerful man out there on that street corner and for not being a punk. I don't have what I want. You don't have what I need, right? You die? No problem. Let me get it for you right here. I'm going to hand it to you right now. Bobbity. Am I missing questions? Here it is right here.
So
Go ahead,
I
Warrior.
had a question.
Go ahead.
So how did we know
Slack
that?
1 second. Give me some tell who's speaking. Yeah, please call your diet though, so you can get so you can speak on everyone can hear you. All right. That's Malak right here, one of the Kansas City 4. Give him a hand. All right. And look at all this. This is funny. Okay, where are we at right now? I need to get that one about Mahayaman and what's the brother's name? Ibad has it. All right. Well, he'll call in and we'll read it. All right. Go ahead. Where are we at right now?
Psalm 64, sir.
Go ahead.
This book of Psalm 56, verse 4. In God I will praise his word. In God,
I'm sorry. Is that where we started?
We started at verse 1. And we ended up stopping at verse 6.
Okay, I think. Read 2 and 3 and then move on to the next one. Go ahead.
Cover God. This book of Psalm 56.
Shit, we gotta get it. After this, get to the story of David. Did we go over 2 Corinthians 14 and 11? Give me 2 Corinthians 14 and 11, and then give me the story of David. If not, I'll have to do it on Thursday, all right? Go ahead.
You want that right now, sir?
No, finish where you are right now.
Cover God. This book of Psalm 56, verse 2. My enemies will daily swallow me up, for they be many.
I think I read that already. Read the next one. Go ahead in the back.
You said, did you want 2 Chronicles chapter 14?
If I could, I think that's the one I wanted. 2 Chronicles 14 and 11.
Book of 2 Chronicles chapter 14, verse 11. And Asa cried unto the Lord his God and said, Lord, it is nothing with thee to help, but with many, or with them that have no
This
God.
is Asa, man, cried to the Most High. He was a king over Israel. And he said, it is nothing for the Most High to help. Nothing. Keep going.
Help us, O Lord.
Read it from the top.
Come on, come. Asa cried unto the Lord his God and said, Lord, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many, or with them that have no power.
The Most High God said, brother, it is nothing for the Lord to help, whether it be for many or for them that have no help. What difference does it make how many of you it is? It means nothing to God. Many times the Lord God will send you out with fewer people so he can gain the glory in it. So he can get the credit for the victory. No go? Keep going.
Come on, come.
Mhm.
Help us, O Lord.
Help us, O Lord. That's what David said, man. Or Asa said. Help us, O Lord. Go ahead.
Our God.
Our God.
For we rest on thee.
For we rest on thee. We trust in you. Keep going.
And in thy name we go against this multitude.
And in thy name we do what?
Go against this multitude.
Ooh, that's so one Western. So biblical. In thy name we go against this multitude. That is what built me. That. In your name we go against this multitude. We are going to fight them. We're going to do it. We're doing it. If they come and they circle your school, if you're by yourself, you go outside, I can battle. If you got Malak, let me hear Malak. Give him a hand. Officer Malak. Officer Malak, are you, let me put it here. Officer Malak, are you there? Hey, first of all, brother, I want to just tell you Thawada for your service, warrior, all right? And you understand I consider you a hero, correct? Most High in Christ. Also, your wife was insulted online with one of those purple faggots. Bishop Kanai said he wanted to spit in her face because your wife congratulated Gadalhar for coming down to stand by your side. And he said, we should spit in Mariah's face. Do you have that? Listen, Officer Abadja has it. He sent it to me, but I just don't have the time to pull it up on my phone. But if you can get the officer Abadja out of headquarters, he'll show it to you, and maybe we can do it, next week or do it, later on or something like that. But I wanted to bring your wife back because I wanted to bring your wife on the phone because your wife gets to have sex with a killer.
Right.
You understand that, right? Your wife gets to open her legs and accept a warrior inside of her.
Right.
And for that, I congratulate her. Well done. Give her my congratulations. Can you hear me, Mariah? Let me talk to her if you don't mind, warrior. Shalom, Mariah. Yahweh Shemal Shem Yahushai. We'll play it either tonight or next week. One of those purple pigs said that he wanted to spit in your face because you thanked the brothers that stood next to your husband when he went out there and sacrificed his life for Christ. And they said, this Mariam, we should spit in her face. And all I could think of is that Mariam gets to turn around and see a warrior behind her. She gets to open her legs for a killer. She has our thanks. And I know you appreciate it. She said, damn right. Give her a hand. Well done. Those purple bitches don't know what that's like. They don't know what that's like, Mariah. Right or wrong? Those purple bitches see a limp penis that doesn't want them because it wants men. You, however, get to give your body to a killer. Now you see your husband. You see who you with, right? Mariah, you see who you married to. You see who you give your body to. Do you see that? Now you know, don't you? You knew before this, but now it's confirmation to you, is it not? Give her a hand. The water, Mariah. All right, we'll play the video and show you what the cat said about you, all right? And don't worry about him. One day, you'll look for him and won't find him. That person that dared to speak evil about you. You'll look for him and he'll be gone. All right? The water. Yahweh Shemal about Shem Yahushai. Okay, give me Christ sent. So this is the last scripture, all right? When Christ sent the disciples out by twos in the New Testament. Come on out.
Did you also want the one about the man in person?
Say again.
Did you also want the precept?
I'll have to do that Thursday. Thursday night, I'll go through all the purple precepts this Thursday, but I just don't have time to do it tonight. Give me where Christ sent them out by twos. That's in, I think, Matthew. You know where it's at. Matthew, where he sent them out with nothing. All right? Not with purse, not with anything. Nice and loud and tell them where you are. You might need to come closer out so they can hear you.
Mark chapter 6, verse 7. And he called unto him the 12 and began to send them forth.
So this is when Christ was on the earth, and his men were finally going out to speak without him. Keep going.
And began to send them forth by two and two.
He sent them what?
Forth by two.
He sent them forth by what?
By two.
By what?
By two.
By two. When Christ was living on the earth and he sent his disciples out to teach, he sent them out by two. Two of them. Keep reading.
And gave them power over unclean spirits.
And gave them power over unclean spirits. Now, how many disciples were there? Answer. How many disciples? You don't know this. Raise your hand right up front. Huh? 12. Why didn't he send them out by 12? He had 12 disciples. Instead of sending them out by 12, he sent them out by two. Why do something like that? He could have sent them out in a camp of 12, couldn't he have? Why do that? Why would some man, if you have 12 men, you can send them out in a camp of 12. Why would you send them out in a camp of 2, of 6 two-man camps? Let someone younger answer. Brother, right here with the watch on right here. Christ had 12 disciples, did he not? Why? He could have sent out one camp with 12 men in it, right? That would have been safer. That would have been wiser, right? But instead, he sent out 6 two-man camps. Why? Give him a hand. That's all right. You see, purple faggots don't understand that. They don't get that. The purple faggots wouldn't go out on the street unless they had 40 people. Us, we on purpose send few people. On purpose. We do it on purpose. Christ sent them out by 2, not 4, by 2. A reader and a speaker.
Right.
That's it. Keep going.
And commanded them that they should take nothing for their journey.
And he commanded them what?
That they should take nothing for their journey.
Come on, warrior. He sent 2 men out on the street and said what? You cannot bring anything. Keep reading.
Save a staff only.
All they could bring is a staff. That's it. One staff they took out on the street, which means what? No purse, no money, no shoes. That's in the Bible. No shoes. A staff. Why? Why a staff? Bring me home, same young brother. Why a staff? You. Why a staff, though? What's this for? Oh, you know what it's for. You know well what it's for. You know what it's for. Young brother up front. Why only a staff? To fight. To defend yourself. That's it. But you're not getting money and you're not getting shoes on your feet. But you will get this, because this you're going to use. Ooh-wee. You're going to use this. I pray you understand. He told them to bring that only and nothing else. Continue.
Oh God, no script, no bread.
No script. What script? Paper money. No script. Go ahead.
No bread.
No bread. No food. Keep going.
No money in their purse.
No money in your purse. He could have sent them with all of it. He sent them on purpose with nothing except a weapon to defend themselves. Continue.
But be shod with sandals.
But meaning they couldn't bring shoes. They had to have sandals on their feet, but no shoes, because even shoes would make it too comfortable.
Right.
This is not going to be comfortable now. This will be the bare minimum.
Right.
Keep going.
And not put on 2 coats.
And they couldn't even have 2 coats on. 1 coat, 1 staff, sandals, and no money and no food. That's how he bred men.
Right.
Killers, warriors. That is the tradition in the Israelite School of UPK. Can I tell you a quick story? I was an officer of 50 one day out. I was an officer of 50 and commanding General Yohana. He was based out of headquarters in Harlem, New York, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And he came down to the city I was assigned to, Philadelphia. And one day he said, was it a Thursday or a Saturday? It was a Saturday. And he said, you brothers are going out, but you're not going out in your regular camps. You're going out in groups of 2s. He said, first, we're going to wash each other's feet, because Christ washed the disciples' feet in the Bible. But the top general, the 12 shield generals, are going to wash the feet of the troopers. And then after we wash each other's feet, meaning the highest men, wash the feet of the lowest men, then we're going out in groups of 2s. I was an officer of 50 that day. And I remember being so excited because I knew that one camp would go to the most dangerous camp in Philadelphia. Who can guess what that camp was at the time? Nakar, 52nd and Market. And I knew that one camp would get to go to 52nd and Market. For you brothers not from Philadelphia, if you went to 52nd and Market speaking against Islam, you were getting killed. in the 90s. You were dying. And I knew one camp would go there. And I remember thinking, please, Lord, send me to 52nd and Market. I must go to 52nd and Market. And I remember I was doing some campaigning for it, Salakia. I would go to talk to captains and 5,000s about, listen, whoever gets 52nd and Market, could you pick me? Because Commanding General Yohanan gave an order that the 5,000s and the captains would get to pick their reader, because it was just a speaker and a reader. And I remember going around to all the 5,000 and all the captains, and I said, whoever gets 52nd and Market, please pick me to go. And so it happened. The generals washed the feet of troopers that day. We had basins of water. And the generals, 12 shield generals, went down and washed the feet of troopers and officers of 50 in the school. And then they said, after this feet washing, we're going out to speak. But you're not going in your regular camps. You're not going with equipment. You're not going with food. You're going by twos and with no water and with nothing. And then the camp started to run out. 15th and Market, 16th and Market, Germantown and High, Mount Airy. And I'm sitting there going, please, God, pick me for 52nd and Market. Please, Lord, pick me for 52nd and Market. And then this brother stepped up and he said he was a captain and he was getting 52nd and Market. And he turned around to me and said, I want Mahayaman. And I almost cried. And he picked me and I said, come out of one con. And me and this brother got in his car and went to 52nd and Market with 5 signs. One of our signs was Allah is a rock and Islam is a lie. And we went out on this street corner, brother, the two of us at 52nd and Market. And we blazed up these Muslims. For you brothers that don't know, 52nd and Market is where every mosque is. It's the home of filthy Islam in Philadelphia. And we spoke, and the crowd got so big, and there was 2 of us. And all of a sudden, some giant crowd of Muslims came in front of us. And they came real fast. It was like 20 of them. And they came and they grabbed the sign that was down behind us. The sign that said, Allah is a rock. Right. And they took the sign. And they went to run away. And I jumped at them. And the captain said, Mahayaman, stop. Just like this. And he put his hand in my chest. And I froze at his command. And they took the sign. He said, don't worry about that sign up. And then we began to just blaze on Islam with no sign now because they took our sign. And all I can remember, brother, is harnessing anger. It was the first day that I knew, you know how you feel angry about a thing? And it's kind of like a wildfire. And that day, because they took our sign, it was just 2 of us. I took a fire and focused it like a laser. I made it focused and direct and small and aimed at one thing. And I just started to speak that day on Islam. And I just kept going and going and going and going. And I remember going home that night. Of course, we went home and I had sex with a beautiful woman that night, like I do every night. And I remember feeling satisfied. You understand? Satisfied. And that night built who I am. And from that night, we send out 2 men, 4 men. That's it. You're going to go do it because it's going to build you. You don't know who you are because you haven't been able to be yourself. You haven't been out and done something that's a miracle, something that you never thought you could do. Your whole life, you've done what's easy, haven't you? You've done whatever was right in front of you. You've ate whatever thing was laid on your plate. But that day, you're going to have to take something off of someone else's plate. And then you'll know what it is to be a warrior. Right. And that is One West. Right. With that, pass the class over. Police officer Malak.
Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh ISUPK security announcements.
It might be up here. If I'm not mistaken. Never mind. You can't find them?
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Rule for new brothers and sisters: when a new brother or sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Read about it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asherah means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you, you give to the treasury department. A priest fund is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of First Fruit, which is next Monday at 7 p.m. Remind Akim and Akwakim to check the bulletin board in the front. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, like Majin, just brothers. I'm going to give one courtesy salute. And this for Imam Shabbat, Imam Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh.
Y'all been taught hands down, start to the sisters, Imam. And this for we're going to give the sisters one courtesy salute. And this for Imam Shabbat, Imam Barak. Y'all been taught, class dismissed.
Wow.